Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a little bit of something different. Bondcraftor sent me some of their new OA silicone rubber for mold making. And we're going to use it. If I can get it open. I'm not very good at cutting on these openings here. Come on. There you go. There you go. Okay. So we're going to see what's in the box. The camera's a little wonky in it. Okay. So first off, we got some gloves and some measuring cups that are bent. I don't know if I can get them to come out. Oh, that's not going to come out. They're bent. Okay. We'll find a use for them. All right. So we got the gloves and the measuring cups. And then we have some skinny stir sticks. Some little stir sticks. I think for silicone rubber, it would be better to have bigger stir sticks. In fact, it would be very nice if you give us something like these knives, plastic knives, to mix this with. I think it'd be really good because I don't think that these sticks are proper, but that's what you get. All right, let's get this box out of the way. And you get a part A and a part B. And you get some instructions. 1-to-1. 1-to-1. Non-toxic, fast cure, low viscosity. Shelf life 12 months unopened. Used up within 3 months after opening. Okay. So you measure it. You're going to need to measure it. Measure A and B 1-to-1 by weight. If no scale, it is also possible to measure in a 1-to-1 by volume. There may be a slight difference in the hardness of the finished product. Okay, but at least you know if you don't have scales, you can do it. And then you're going to mix it for, scrape it on the along the wall for 3 to 5 minutes. You can also add mica powder to make your favorite mold color. Then you're going to pour it. Working time is 30 minutes. And then waiting 3 to 6 hours for demold at room temperature of 73 degrees. Okay. All right, we're going to see what we get. All right, we're going to mix it up. Let me get my scale. All right. All right, and I'm going to be using one of these cups. And this is what I'm going to be molding. A turtle. A turtle. He's so cute. And I'm going to be molding this mold that I made from a mold that I got. I wanted to make sure that I don't wear it out, and I have I don't want to wear my other mold out, so I poured a casting of it, and we're going to mold it off that with the silicone. Okay, so, but first I want to give a shout out to Melody Huey. She lives in Oregon, and she sent me a very nice card. And she makes these bookmarks. And she sent me some bookmarks. This one has Matthew 17:20 on it. And this has Proverbs 19:11. And then this one has Acts 2:39. She makes these, and she said that she creates them and hands them out when she's out and about. And she sent some to some of the YouTubers that are Christians, and she thought I might like it. Well, I tell you what, Miss Melody, I do like them. I will use them. They will fit nicely in my Bible, and I really do appreciate it. I thank you very, very, very much. Very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we're going to measure this. Let me get some gloves on. I stuck that turtle down in here with a hot glue. All right. Make sure that I got nothing in there that I want to get up in that mold. Then I want to take a paper towel. I've already wiped it off with some alcohol, but I want to make sure I don't have any fingerprints on him. Okay. Alrighty, so we're going to be measuring this stuff. Okay, and according to the, I want to check something here. Okay, so let's open this up and see if we can't get this out. There we go. All right. I'm not real sure how much this guy's going to take. So we're going to do the whole 20 ounces, but we're going to be doing this in milliliters, so it'll be, hold on, 600. 600, so I'm going to be pouring 300. Okay, so this is going to be 1145, and I think that's, I want to say that's ounces. Well, that's what it says, but I forgot to change it over to, well, now we're going to tear this out, and we're going to pour this part 1145. All right, I got 1140. There it is, 45. Hot diggity dog, I probably couldn't do that again if I tried. Okay, so we're going to get this out of the way, and then we're going to stir this up. I won't bore you with that. We're just going to stir it for 5 minutes, and then I'll be back. Okay. All right, we have stirred it up. And now we're going to pour it. All right, we're going to pour this and see what we get. All right, let's see how deep it is. I think that's deep enough. So we're going to pour this. Well, that would, I don't think I could have done that if I'd tried again to get that both perfect amount to do both of these molds. Woohoo! Now, if I did it right and they unmold and I have molds that I could work with, I will have had a success. So we shall see. Because I have another little turtle that I want to mold as well that's made of glass. That is so pretty, and I want to get a mold of it. But I wanted to try this one first. All right. Okay. We'll see about, it looks like the bubbles are, it has just a couple little bubbles in there, and it looks like they're popping on their own. Not very many of them. But it looks like it's popping on its own. All right. Well, we'll be back when it's time to unmold our molds. See you then. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. All right. It's time for the true test of this. I might need to have your gloves on to do this. Yeah. Pull this away. Got a little bit of trimming to do on that. Got a little bit of over pour on it. This is a cuticle trimmer that I'm using to do this. And there it is. A perfect mold. Perfect. Okay, this may be a little bit more tedious to get this puppy out because it's bigger. So let's get my fingers in there. There we go. Alright, let's see if we can get this little guy trimmed up. It's easier to pull him out of there. Not an expert at trimming these yet, by no means. It is a learning process, I believe. But I think with practice, it will get better. And I do thank Bondcraftor for sending me this OA silicone to do this project with. For certain. And I assure you, if Loretta can do it, you can do it. I am just somebody with a love and passion for resin art who happens to really love turtles. I mean, I really love turtles. As you can see. Alright, I'm sorry if this is boring y'all. And it's fiddly here. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get this guy out. Well, he came out very easy. Yep, got a little bit more trimming to do on that. And I do have to wait 24 hours before I pour a mold. Before I use this mold, you're supposed to wait 24 hours. So we will wait for 24 hours before we attempt to pour it. But it looks really shiny in there. And it looks pretty good. So we will definitely wait for 24 hours and come back and mold it. And then we'll see what we get. All right. See you then, guys. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Okay, we get to mold our 2 molds that we made. We get to pour resin in them and see what we get. First off, there's a little rose in there, and I want to color it. So we're going to color it with a bright color. I think I want to do it with this red. Yeah. You see that? It's a very pretty red. We're going to color it with that. Put some color in that rose. Oop. Get it all over. Y'all know I'm messy. I don't want to get it in all those little crooks and crannies in there. Okay, let me get something to clean that up with now that I've made that a big mess. All right, clean the brush off. Because we gotta also put some green on the leaves. Get a baby wipe. Get it off there. Clean this up. There we go. Now we want to put some green on those leaves. I'm going to try to do it with this little bud because they are very tiny. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to have it off camera. And put it in that stem. Okay. Now, should be able to wipe it without taking it off. There we go. All right, now we got the rose ready to go. Because it's not going to take much resin in that thing, I'm telling you right now. Right, and in the turtle, I have decided we are going to put this beautiful mermaid and this little starfish. So we're going to use just a small, very, very small drop. There we go, one drop. Because I don't want a bunch of color in it, but I want it tinted. And that should give it a tint. And give it just a tint. We're going to pour this in there first. Oh yeah, it's just tinted. Okay. Then we're going to put her in there. She's just going to fit. And that's a good thing because then she probably won't float. That's cool. Now this little, there we go. Woohoo, he sank. Good deal. All right. Now let's put some, get that surface bubble. Let me see. There we go. There we go. All right, that went into the head. Okay. I think that's going to be all right. She is kind of floating sideways a little bit. But I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. But you know what I could do is put a shell behind her. Let me get a shell real quick. I don't want one too big, but I don't want one too small either. Let's see if I got one. Give me just a minute. I'm so sorry, y'all. Give me just a second to find something to put in there. Got shells everywhere, but when you want one, you can't find one. Of course not. How about, let's try this. Because I don't know where I need a shell. I want a shell. Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. I think I see some in this box here. Here we go. All right, that should be. Okay. All right. Let me put this in the resin reel here so that it doesn't form too many bubbles. And see if I can't get it to stick behind her like that. think that's going to be all right because it's not above that. It should be okay. All right, we're going to go for it. Okay, now we'll find something to pour this in. This is a scorpion that I put some flowers in, but I hadn't finished it yet, so we're going to finish it with some of this resin here. All right, let me get this. Okay. All right, there's one. So she's going to have to cure in there before we finish her. But now this one, I want to try to get just a little bit of purple, maybe one drop. Let's see what one drop gets us. Should better. All right, let's see if that 2 drops in there is what I need. I think that's good. It gives us a tint, but it doesn't make it opaque. And I wanted a purple tint. I think that's going to be just good. We're going to pour that into the cross. And then we're going to fill this up here. I need to get me some of those little bottles with the needle tips on them that everybody uses. I need to get me some of those, I guess. I think it would have been really good to have at this point. Now this is probably going to have to be an overpour, and you just have to trim it up. Maybe. See if I can get that to come off without taking it out of there. I'd rather clean it up than not have enough in it. Let's see if I can clean it up with that thing. This little tool here. There we go. That might be better. Okay. That might do it, y'all. Well, it's not in there. Alright, let me give that a little spurt. Let it go everywhere. I think that cross could use just a little bit more doming. There we go. Okay. Now we'll pour the rest of this in this other little butterfly here. Such a messy. So messy. There we go. All right, and the rest of it, make another little ghosty. Always pays to have some little molds laying around. Doesn't matter what they are. You just don't want to waste your resin. Okay. All right. Now we're done with you. Now I want to put a little bit of crushed crystal in here. We're going to pour that into there. This is one of those bent cups that came in that silicone that they will not unbend. I tried a hot heat gun on them and everything. I was too afraid I was going to make them crack. I'm just going to use them for mixing cups and not measuring cups because I can't get those bends out. What a waste. Okay. So we're going to mix this crushed crystal up in here. Get it. There it goes. All right. We're going to pour it in this guy. I bet he's going to be pretty with all those flowers. All right, I think that's good. All right, now, okay, we're going to have to wait a little bit before we can do anything with this one, but we're going to finish. Oh, I want to put, let's do clear on that one because I think the front is already colored. Okay, now we can find something. All right, I got these little bows here that I really wanted to make a color. So let's add some red to this. And I'm going to pop a pin in that. Not hold it over that because I don't want to pop no red into my purple or my blue. And I would have done that for sure. All right. Okay. Now let's see what we get with that. Yeah, that might work. Pretty. We're going to spritz that so that it will automatically spread out when the resin hits it. I like them because they're flat. And they'll do good. I want to use them on some wreaths, glass wreaths that we're going to be making. I say we because I'm going to have my sister that I moved in with me this year. She's 82, going to be 83 in December. And she's going to make a couple because we're going to be putting up our Christmas tree together this year. This will be the first time in over 10 years that I have a tree because I lived in an RV and didn't have room for a tree. So I had like little fake trees and little bitty water globes and stuff. But we got us a tree that we're going to be putting up that we're excited. So I told her we would make, each of us would make a little Christmas tree ornament, wreath, and put it on that tree. All right, let's do this. Hearts. I'd like to have some of these flowers. So let's have a red seahorse. That ought to be pretty. Okay. All right, I'm going to have to find something else to pour that in. But anyway, we'll come back when it's time to demold these and to go to the second part on him. Okay, it's time to be able to do the second part of this. These are not yet cured. I stopped it long enough to get this done. I have mixed some white sand that I got from Michael's because I wanted white. And we're going to pour that in here. I'm going to use a silicone stick to push that in there and try to make sure I don't have any bubbles. Mess maker I am. Okay. Alright, looks like that's good enough. Now we'll let that cure. And we should get really pretty effect off that. I got a little bit too much on there. Let me get some of it off the top. Alright, let's use this to clean it up a little bit. Because I want to give it a spritz. Any surface bubbles off there. Okay. I think that's going to be good with that. Alright. I'm going to pour this into those other little ghosties there, and then we'll be back when it's ready to demold. Alright. Hello everybody. Welcome back. Alright, we're ready to demold. We got a bunch of extras. Look at that. Red butterfly, isn't that gorgeous? Pretty, pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Pretty coral. Got a bunch of other little coral. Oh, that's a pretty color. Isn't that pretty? Oh yeah, that's going to be pretty on my glass project. Wow, I like this little mold. Yeah, I got it off Temu. It's one of those molds you thought was going to be bigger. Uh, I know that you've had that happen. If you've ordered off of Temu, I know you've had that happen. And these little bows are very cute. Those are going to be perfect on the little wreaths because they're flat. Now I need to make some green ones. Those are cute. And the little seahorses. Ooh, that's a pretty color. And I know that y'all don't see the deepness of it like I do. When you turn it this way, it's really a deep color. But I know that that camera doesn't pick up that. And it's a turtle with a baby on the back. I have to fill in that some of the things on there. All right. That off there. And the flower. the bird's not filled yet, so we're not, and neither is this one, so we're not going to pull them out yet. We can pull these guys out. It's a little, I don't know if you can see him. He's a little ghost with, he's got pumpkins in his hand, and he's got a little hat on. And I'm believing that this is a little cat or a dog. Those are adorable. And this one has a jack-o'-lantern trick-or-treat bag. And this one doesn't have a bag or nothing. It's just a little ghost. See that? So cute. So cute. Okay, let's see what we got here. Because I think this is going to have to be embellished with some pins. Yeah, it's a dragon holding a heart. I have to color some of that in with a pins. This guy, I think he's going to be fiddly to get out of his mold because he's got a lot of legs. Oh, but how pretty is he? Let's see. Isn't he pretty? That's not a good color, I don't think, to show him on. I don't have anything black. I do have a piece of black paper. Hang on. I left it over here. I left it over here. Give me just a second. Yeah, you can see him a little better on this black paper. He's a lot. Yeah, you can see a lot better. That's a very intricate mold. All right. And I did another dragonfly. Sparkly. So sparkly. So sparkly. Oh, yeah. He's gorgeous. Intoresin never disappoints. All right, this guy, you gotta be very careful how you demold the rose because it's very delicate. Pop that putty right off there, I believe. There goes. Get the cross out. And you put the rose. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? And that is an intoresin mold. I will link it. That's stunning. Stunning. All right. So here's what I've been waiting for. This is my mold that I made with the Bondcraftor OA silicone. Comes out pretty good. Ready? Ready? How pretty. And you can see her inside. You can see the mermaid and the starfish. How pretty. I think if I put that on a light too, I will put pictures up because that is really pretty. You can see the seashell back there. Well, my mold was a success. Thank you, Bondcraftor, for the silicone. I'm going to trim this off because it's got a little overpour. That OA made that very soft and easy to pull that turtle out of there. So when you got something that you need to, that you know would be hard to pull out of a mold, that's when you use the OA mold, the OA silicone. And it makes it easier to get the mold out. Yep. So it was very, very good. It made these two molds. Oops. It made these two molds. So I would say I had success. So it's Bondcraftor silicone rubber OA. That way it's soft to get it out. It's like all these, you know, they're easier to get out when they're intricate like that. So when you got something like that big, it's nice to, and I didn't get a bubble in the tail. How sweet is that? But it makes it a lot easier to get your project out and makes it more easy to get it. Look at that. Very nice, Bondcraftor. I thank you very much for sending that. I will be making more molds. I have some glass turtles that I want to mold. So we'll be doing that. All right. Well, oh, we got another butterfly over here. I'm sorry. I bet you're saying, hey, how about those butterflies over there? All right. Pretty, pretty butterflies. Love them. Those turn out cute. Everything turned out really pretty. I'm really tickled. All right, y'all. Well, thank you for joining me. If you're new to the channel, welcome, 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 and thank you so much. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. I will link the Bondcraftor resin silicone so that you can go over there and use my discount code and definitely get you some. I think that you will not be disappointed for sure how easy it is to become a mold maker. Because I know that we find things that, oh man, I'd like to have a mold of that. Well, you can. With this OA, it makes it a lot easier for you to achieve that. So definitely do that. But I thank you. I thank every one of you. Have a great day, night, afternoon, whatever your time zone is. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, think about hitting that button and that bell so that you'll be notified when I have a video. And it's free to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. And it really helps my channel grow. And I do appreciate it so very much. I hope that you come back for the next one. Um, I got my new August into resin molds. We're going to be doing those, and you're not going to be disappointed because they are phenomenal. So I'll come back for that, and I'll see you then. So, but remember, there are blessings everywhere, but if you haven't found one, be one. See you later, guys. Bye.